An umpire and a vampire square off week after week reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 2021 Malignant and the 1996 Jerry Maguire, starring Tom C., Renee Z., Annabelle W., Jake A., McKenna G., Cuba G. Jr., and Kelly P. Now two guys who recently got hired as fitness models, as the before pictures. Tim Crutchman and Jeff Miller.
Speak for yourself. I have the picture of health. Mental health. But how are you doing, Jeff? It's been about 30 years.
It has been.
We were trying to remember some of the movies from this season. I know one of them that I gave a good score to was Field of Dreams.
You sure?
I just saw the names go up, and I'm like, I know I gave that one a good one.
Do you remember what week one was? I remember week one.
Week one? No.
Bronze.
Oh.
Remember?
That is one I should have gave.
You gave it a 3.
Yeah, that was really nice of me.
But what was week 2? Because I gave week 2 a 9. I wish I could remember that.
All of my movies are good.
No, but what would
all of them.
What would I,
They're all good.
What would I have given a 9?
I can look it up.
You can or you can't?
I can.
See, this is compelling podcast.
I'm not doing it though.
Why?
Because we got a lot to talk about tonight, dude. Okay. And we have
to crown a new champion.
The crowning is tonight. Okay, for those of you that are new to the show, I don't know why you would tune in new, but here you go. This is the last inning of this season. Season 9. Season is going to be season 10. That means I got to redo the season marker because it was for 1 digit. Now I got to add another digit.
Oh my gosh.
This is going to take me hours.
It's Y2K all over again.
It is. For me, this is a nightmare.
Oh my God.
It's a nightmare, everybody. One thing I do want to tell everybody is that my partner is Jeff. He's right over there.
I can't ever get the hands right.
You always get it confused.
There we go. But I don't like using my left.
A professional broadcaster, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, Tim.
Jeff once walked into a building and refused to run up the stairs because that would be another story.
That's good.
Yes, Jeff is our resident sports fan. So I, as a horror fan, give him the gift that just keeps giving. And I gave him a wonderful, entertaining, educational horror film to watch, and he gave me some drug-addled sports movie again.
Not even close. I gave him a great movie. I gave him the movie Jerry Maguire, and I got the movie for myself, Malignant.
Malignant, that's right.
Who's going first tonight?
We'll know when I get out of this screen.
But here's the thing. We should have done this almost a month ago, but we put it off, but it's all right.
Life happens.
Yeah.
So there's Jerry Maguire. There's a Malignant. I do think that looks like...
I don't like that. I do not like that cover.
You don't like that cover?
Ooh, no.
Okay.
No.
Let's take a look at this one.
What's wrong with it?
What's the artistic value of this? This is literally a picture of a guy that just threw up or something.
No, you're right.
And he's just happy. Right. Or he took like a really good dump. You know, like when you have a dump and it's like yum yum. That's the smile.
Yum yum. Who says yum yum?
Holy cow, it's good stuff.
Oh my God, I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, you have.
But I do have to agree with you. That is a very boring...
to me, the greatest, you're not going to be surprised by this, the greatest horror poster of all time, not even just horror,
it makes sense. It does.
Jaws. Mm-hmm. Jaws just, bang, that's everything you need to know about the movie. Lately, all these freaking, look at this again. It's a photograph. What did that take, half an hour? I don't even think they did this in the studio. They're like, they were having lunch in the commissary and say, hey, want to do the poster, Tom? Clank.
Now, Tom is the main guy here, but you know what the cover should be? It should be Cuba Gooding Jr. when he scores that touchdown.
No, we're going to talk about it because we're going to find out who goes opinions, first. And it is me that goes first.
Great.
So there's going to be quality, and then Jeff will go later on.
Above quantity.
Let's start off the show, the train wreck that season 9 inning 9 seems to be off on.
Wow.
We are going to be talking about the movie Jerry Maguire.
Sure.
And it's a movie about a sports agent by the name of Jerry Maguire. There's my name, everybody.
Are you going to get your... What about your email?
My email? Gee, I wonder if I remembered to put that in there. Gee, I hope
See, that's why I don't get a lot... My stuff has been off
there
lately.
It is.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I must have changed the timing. It seems like it's a little slow, kind of like this entire show so far.
Wow.
We are. We're a little bit off. It's almost like we took a season off, for crying out loud.
I know. It's almost Christmas.
Okay. First of all, this is supposed to be a sports movie, right?
It is.
You gave me a sports movie.
It is.
Because this is totally a chick flick. It's all about feelings. It's all about, oh, I'm in love. Oh, it's damn cruise. Oh, give me your Scientology right in my clitoris. I mean, it's just insanity how chick flicky this is. Now, this movie was shot by Cameron Crowe. Do you know who Cameron Crowe is?
No.
He was the director of Jerry Maguire. I don't know why I even tried. Now, Cameron Crowe actually was one of the youngest writers, if not the youngest writer ever for Rolling Stone magazine. And
wait. Is that movie Almost Famous about him?
That is another movie that he wrote and directed.
Oh, okay.
And it's I'm told it's semi-biographical. It's mostly based on actual events with the Allman Brothers, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Is
Fair.
who they based that on,
Fair.
if I remember correctly. But Cameron Crowe, the first big hit that he had, he wrote the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High because he was that age when he wrote that movie.
Get out of here.
So, yeah. So he's primarily known as a comedy writer, though I would say it's a stretch to call this movie a comedy.
I don't think you'd call it a comedy.
Yeah.
This is a drama.
It's also a stretch to call it a sports movie.
No, it's not.
It's more of a business movie, if anything.
So what was the one with Brad Pitt, Moneyball? What was that?
That one seemed to have more sports in it than this one did. Don't you think?
I don't know.
You know what this one reminds me of is Draft Day.
That was a good movie.
I like Draft Day.
Ooh, so I can't wait for the rating in this one.
Yeah. Now, what I think this has a lot to do with, and some of the people that watch the show do our horror conventions and such, are you aware of the term fanager?
No.
Okay. So at some of these horror movie conventions, there's somebody that runs around acting like they're the manager of but they're really like just a fan that the celebrity kind of talked them into taking care of stuff for them so they wouldn't have to do it. Yeah.
That would be fun.
See, this is how that's possible.
I should become a fanager.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yes, you should.
Or I should have a fanager for me.
You could be a fanager at Craig there.
Oh, great. No, I should have a fanager for me at Horror Realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to look into that.
Okay, you look into that. I'm going to be on planet Earth. But I don't think you know this. There is a local talent agency. I'm not going to name them by name, but Jeff can see it in my notes here.
I'm not going to look.
Well, you can look. I just don't want to put it into the show.
And I certainly don't experience being on a planet. I exist as a computer program.
What?
But I can
I'm not doing anything.
That's coming from... Oh, my God. It's coming from my phone. I turned off all the sound, and it turned itself on. What the hell is going on tonight? Jeff, what did you do?
That's awesome. I got you. Yeah, anyways, so yes, I know about that local agency.
Okay,
it used to be by...
It's a talent agency. Yep. And it's kind of located over by the mall.
Yeah, I know.
I decided to go in there and try to get a job.
I did too.
Now, this main agent's... And this is like a local talent agency that hires people to do voiceover work and, just local modeling jobs, that sort of thing. I go into her office.
Yep.
It's about twice the size of this room. She apparently can't afford any file cabinets because she just laid different files and things all over the floor. So to get to the chair, I had to go through this minefield to sit down. And the thing that I always took away from this is, one, I would never want to be her office manager, which was what I was looking at doing. I'm like, not if you run stuff like this. Forget it. Buy some furniture. But the other thing was she talked about how if you're going to be an agent, you have to totally put away your ego and just feed the ego of the talent. If they want a stupid piece of turkey leg at 3 a.m, you go and you try to find that turkey leg 3 a.m. What is going on with this thing? It is going into off. There we go. I don't know what it's doing. Anyway, jeez. Anyway, I kept thinking, I don't think I could do this because at some point I'm going to go off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off. When I watched this movie, I'm like, he is not a good agent because he is about Jerry Maguire. And there are times where he kind of sucks it up, but I was like, he would not be a successful agent because he was about himself.
It's true.
And not necessarily his main client in this movie is Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yep.
So the story, let's do the main plot. The story is of a sports agent. He gets a case of the conscience, which talent agents, this is like, you should never get a conscience or you're not going to be able to do it. So he gets fired from a big sports agency, and he thinks he's going to just steal all of his clients with him. And only one, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., he stayed with him. Everybody else said, adios, I'm going with Jay Moore. So consider how ridiculoly bad Jerry Maguire must be.
But
they lost to Jay Moore.
Exactly. And Cuba Gooding Jr. was so self-absorbed in himself.
Yeah.
That's why those two were fine for each other.
Yeah.
That's why they stuck with each other.
Yeah. Now, this is a chick flick. I'm sorry, it's a chick flick. The movie is about how Jerry has these intimacy issues and is driving people away. That's because he's just got a gargantuan ego, which again, I find hilarious that this story is about an agent with a huge ego because I just don't know that you can stay in that business.
It should be the other way around.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Now, Renee Zellweger, who you haven't heard from in about 20 years. She has not been real busy since.
No.
She had a moment in the early 90s.
Where she owned it.
And she was, this was one of the movies. She just was on everything that was coming out. And I think she made a movie where she played Judy Garland recently.
Really?
And that's about it. Yeah, it's supposed to be good. I haven't watched it yet. But she hasn't done a whole lot. She just came out with like a new Bridget Jones movie.
Really? Going back to that old...
Yeah, well, it's for streaming.
Going back to the well.
You know, these movies that are direct for streaming, they're all garbage anyway. Anyway, Renee Zellweger plays a divorced mom that just sees... Honestly, she sees Jerry Maguire as a big old slab of meat. And she just... he's just been broken up with, so she's like, rebound, let's land the shark. She, and I'm sorry, I think she's a disgusting human being, uses her small, not Renee Zellweger, the character she's playing, she uses her small child as a lure to hero worship this guy.
Oh, man. You're right.
And this is the guy, by the way, that destroyed Universal's Dark Universe franchise. Giving me a Tom Cruise movie, you're really asking me to forgive a lot.
Really?
Because he destroyed Universal's Dark Universe franchise.
How?
And that's how Renee wants to get to Honey, or her character does. Okay, Dark Universe franchise, because you seem interested in this.
I'm a little interested.
Okay. Universal Studios was watching all the success of the Marvel movies, right?
Yeah.
So they go, hey, we got a movie universe. We got all these Universal monsters. We got Frankenstein. We got Dracula. We got the Wolfman. We got all this stuff. So they're like, okay, we're going to start making some movies. And they made one called, I think it was Dracula Unleashed or something. Moderate success. And they're like, okay, we're going to do this. And they announced like 10 movies. I mean, as guys, like 10 movies they announced that they're going to make. The first one out of the gate, Tom Cruise. What could go wrong? Tom Cruise, huge budget. We're going to make this epic, and we're going to make it The Mummy, because when Brendan Fraser did that in the 90s, it was a huge
it was
hit.
awesome.
Right, it's a great movie.
Awesome movie.
Great movie. So they're like, okay, we're going to do this. They make the movie, and it's one of the most unmitigated, it's probably the biggest bomb in Tom Cruise's entire filmography.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh, exactly.
Does he play the
How
same
does a
character?
Tom Cruise movie come out that people don't know about?
Does he play the same character that Brendan Fraser played?
It's a totally different story, which is the problem.
Okay.
It's modern day, and it's not fun.
Okay.
It's not a fun movie. And they even had Russell Crowe playing Dr. Jekyll in it. Because Dr. Jekyll, Russell Crowe is going to kind of be the Samuel L. Jackson of it.
Oh,
but here's the thing.
Sure.
They didn't try to make it a horror movie. It wasn't an action movie. It didn't know what the hell it wanted to be.
It had no identity.
It was just a complete mess. And what ended up happening is they scrapped all that. And then Guillermo del Toro, who was trying to make the black Creature from the Black Lagoon for this thing, he took that script, massaged it, and that became the... the Kiss of Water, or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, the water form.
Yeah.
Form of water, water form.
Form of Water. It's something like that. That movie went on and got an Oscar. Then, most recently, they kind of gave the keys to this to Blumhouse, and he made The Invisible Man, and that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So now there's some people over at Universal that are like, oh, we should start the Dark Universe again. I'm like, did you not learn from last time? All of you, shut up. Just make your individual movies. Don't try to wrap them all together. Just make your individual movies. But anyway, Tom Cruise, I guess, was a complete egotist on this whole thing.
It doesn't surprise me.
And it really ruined this whole thing.
The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, that's what it was. Okay. Thank you, chat room.
No, that's all me. I get a point.
You need a point.
Go ahead.
I'll give you an effing point.
Go ahead.
Renee, in this movie, is playing kind of the guy character.
Yeah.
And the guy is the one that's like coming to terms with his ethics. And what's that thing that men never use? Emotions. He's, unbelievably, this is a snore festival. It goes on for over 2 hours. Jeff, you probably know the time on Jerry Maguire.
I don't actually.
Oh, okay, good.
I can find out.
It's an interesting situation. It's told well. There are some humorous things. It's the other tab.
Oh, well, it's 2 hours and 19 minutes long.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right here.
Talk about
Now what do I do?
Here.
How do I get back to Malignant?
That's what I'm doing before you get it even more. All right.
There we go.
The little kid that Renee is using as her earthworm on a hook. That kid's really good. And he didn't go on to make a whole lot. Our friend Susie actually met him recently.
Really?
He's a bit of a musclehead these days.
Really?
He's like a bodybuilder.
So he's fit.
Yeah. But he's good in it. Cuba Gooding Jr. is good in it.
Got an Oscar.
But there really isn't... First of all, its connection to sports, I think there's like 2 or 3 actual like sports scenes in the movie. So it's really more about the business of it. And it really isn't about sports. It really isn't about sports. It's kind of like it's around sports. It's kind of like saying Happy Days is about Milwaukee. It's not. That's just where it's set. Right? So, as a sports movie, not very sporty. As a movie, it's a rom-com. It's okay, but you know what it's time for, Jeff? I just realized I don't want to forget. It's time for something we like to call the Pauly Shore Connection.
But we're
Get down here.
But we're thinking about changing that next year. But we'll talk about this.
Oh, we might. We don't know. See, I got to find somebody else though that does that. Because Dick Van Patten
DVP has a sound. He has a sound.
What? His bones creaking?
I'll let you know.
So Tom Cruise.
Wow, that's a cool
to
connection.
Magnolia. Which, have you ever seen Magnolia?
No.
Weird freaking movie.
Yeah.
Henry Gibson is in there, and Henry Gibson is a major character in Biodome.
He is.
He's
a scientist, right?
I watched Biodome recently.
Did you?
Because I thought I better get to know these freaking movies.
It's a good movie.
No, this was not.
No, Biodome is a good movie. Watch Biodome. Yes.
It's terrible.
No, it's good.
It's
fun. It's a fun
rotten.
movie. It's a fun movie.
It's rotten. God hates you if he makes you watch that. It's just bad times. Okay, let's get into the horror movie connections because everybody is wondering about, hey, what horror movies has Tom Cruise been in? Now, what do you think? Is he going to be heavy on the horror?
He's going to have, I know he's got the vampire one.
The vampire one.
The one with Brad Pitt, right?
Yes.
I know he's got that. Now, just give me a second. Give me a second to think about this.
Why is that one on? There we go. Here's Tommy.
Nope. I'm gonna say one.
Okay. First of all, he is a Hall of Famer because we had Days of Thunder and Color of Money.
That's true. We did.
So that's 2 sports movies. I think he might even have more sports.
Oh, he does. And you're gonna get one next season.
Jesus.
I already got.
Now, as far as horror movies, I just spent a good amount of time reminding you of the movie The Mummy that he did for Dark
But you
Universe.
said it didn't really have a connection with any type of genre.
It's a horror movie.
I could have said that. I could have said that.
So there's that movie,
2.
Interview with a Vampire, pretty well to 2. Some people might want to include War of the Worlds, which I think of those 3 is probably the scariest.
Is Interview with a Vampire, is that scary? Is it?
Not particularly.
Okay.
It's got some moments, but not particularly. Okay, so let's talk about Cuba Gooding Jr. And his percentage is only 2 out of 52. It's a 3.8. That's pretty pathetic. Cuba Gooding Jr.
You just like saying that about Tom Cruise.
I do. He was in 1 season of American Horror Story and a lot of really crappy stuff.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of horror in his background. Now, Renee Zellweger has a very important credit in hers. Renee Zellweger was famously in the movie with Matthew McConaughey, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. This was like one of the first movies she made, one of the first movies Matthew McConaughey was in.
Oh, really?
It's like, I want to say it's either the 3rd or the 4th of the Texas Chainsaw. I think it's the 4th Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's considered by almost everybody the worst of the
No
entire
kidding.
thing. So I will probably be giving that one to you. I've been thinking very hard about just giving you a season of just absolute garbage.
Why do that?
I think it would be funny.
So is that the one with
I think it'd be
Alexandria Daddario?
No, totally different.
No.
Totally different. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Renee Zellweger was in that, but not much else. So she has a 4.1 percentage. I was shocked that she only has 3 less movies than Tom Cruise in her
Really?
list. That Cuba Gooding Jr. has as many as those guys combined. He's got 95, so
she struck while the iron was hot when she made
I think she blasted for a while, yeah. Now, the very cute, and I love her, Kelly Preston, she is also...
Rest in peace.
Is she dead?
Yeah. She died a couple years ago.
Because she was married to
John Travolta.
John Travolta, who is also a Scientologist, and Tom Cruise, which makes me think they pass him around. Anyway.
Stop.
She was in From Dusk Till Dawn.
She was?
So that's a Hall of Famer, ladies and gentlemen.
She was?
From season 4. I don't remember what she played in there.
How can you remember any woman in there except for Salma Hayek?
Well, that's
what I'm saying.
She was also in the movie Christine, which I don't think I've given you, and that's a good movie.
It's about a car.
That may not be during the year of garbage. I'm thinking of giving you a season of just.
Well, so why do you want to do that? You know I'm going to give you bad or score. Well, yeah, I might,
but it'll be entertaining.
But you know what? I might not either because I like some of your
You
garbage.
like a lot of the garbage. That's what I'm saying. I think I might get the highest scores because you gave Frankenhooker like a.
It wasn't bad. That was good.
Okay, Jerry O'Connell.
Yep, I know him.
He plays kind of the
Football player
that kind of screws Jerry Maguire over.
Number 1 draft pick.
Right. He actually has a fairly high percentage. He's at 9.2%. But he's actually had some pretty good sized horror movie credits.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Scream 2.
Okay.
He was in Piranha 3D, which if you saw Piranha 3D, he steals that freaking movie.
I saw that. Yeah,
he steals it. He has 131 credits. He's done a ton.
Holy.
He was in a Stephen King movie, not one of Stephen King's horror movies. He was in Stand By Me. He was the fat kid.
Isn't it amazing? He was. He's a little fatty.
Yeah. He grew up well.
I grew up well.
He is also in the movie Wish Upon, which is considered one of the worst horror movies by our fellow Wisconsin YouTubers, Red Letter Media. They just hate Wish Upon. I still have to watch that. I gotta.
It's really not that bad.
It could be part of. You haven't watched it. Shut up. But you probably know the length of it. Okay, then we have Jay Moore. Jay Moore, he has the face I think that is voted the most easy to punch.
You don't like him, do you?
I do not care for him.
I
the only thing he can do, as far as I'm concerned, is a good Christopher Walken impersonation. Other than that, he's a waste of oxygen.
I'm not a fan of his either. That's for damn sure.
He was in the movie. He was in American Nightmares, which I don't know much about. I don't know. Not good. But
I don't know.
Bonnie Hunt. She went on to make a TV show, Life with Bonnie.
Yeah.
She is a complete and utter loser. She has only done comedy.
But her brother Mike did a lot of good movies.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay,
nice try.
Let's go to the
next try.
Let's go to the
next
one.
Let's go to the next one, which is Regina King. Now, Regina King has only one horror credit, but it's a good one.
Is it?
She was in the TV series The Strain. For people that know me, that is like one of my favorite ever horror TV.
Really?
I would say it's behind Twilight Zone, but not by a lot.
Really?
And it's one story, whereas almost all of my favorite horror TV series are anthologies with a different story
like
each
what
episode. The Strain is, in my mind, the way to make vampires frightening in modern day, and they do a great job with it.
Thank God it's a TV show.
I tell people, you don't have to watch. There's 4 seasons. You don't have to watch all 4 seasons. It kind of peaks in the first season, but that first season is awesome. It's so much fun to watch. All right.
Is it like Twilight?
No. No. I'm not going to give away much because I want people to see it, but it's a great movie. And then our last one is little Jonathan Lipnicki. He has 6 horror movies. He only has 61 movies. But listen to what I just said. 61 movies. That's actually more than Tom Cruise. that amount of credit.
So
but they're obviously the horror movies that he's in. They're absolute these garbage programmers that they put out.
I don't remember this, but you checked through this whole thing. Did he have a twin in this? Was he a twin? Did a twin play the other part? He played the whole thing? All right.
He played it himself. Yeah, so he's a talented guy, but I think he's forever going to be typecast.
As a little kid.
with Jerry Maguire. It was just such an iconic role. And he's just cute as a button in there, you know. So let's get to the scoring. And Jeff, would you like to guess what I'm going to score this one?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. It's a
That's
6.
what I'm talking about, people. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a little better than mediocre.
Yep. But
that's it. If it was going to be based on how sportsy it is, it would have got one of these. You know, the thing is, I wish it was funnier. But in a lot of ways, I think it was going for comedy in places, and I felt bad. I felt bad for everybody. I felt bad for Tom. I felt bad for Renee. I felt bad for his little kid. I felt bad for Cuba Gooding Jr. It's like all these people are toxic, and they found each other, and they're feeding off each other. And I'm having to watch it for 2 hours and, 17 minutes?
Yep.
It just went on and on and on and on. I'm like, oh my God, get me out of this room.
Was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s performance Oscar worthy?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. What it was a flashy role.
Okay.
It was a flashy role. I think you put any actor in that position,
and they win.
I think it's a flashy role. It was an African American in the early 90s where they were looking to try to find ways. That was before, I think this is prior to Denzel Washington's Oscar. So it isn't to that level. I would, I should have looked this up. I should have looked up who he was against because I'm sure I would be even stronger. Don't try. Don't. It's just embarrassing.
What if I know in my head?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's Jerry Maguire. A suitable but mediocre type of film. You can do worse, but why bother? There's some great movies, and we're going to be talking about one of them in just a minute. But first, we have the break.
We do.
Here we go. We're going to the merch.
I love First Madness.
This is your favorite part of the show.
One of them. Wait till there's new merch.
Let's make some merch
Oh
money.
my God. Please, Lord, make it not happen.
It's going to be awesome. Where's this merch?
There's a new merch in town.
Ooh, I like this
Let's
one.
make some merch money.
Look at this sexy thing. You could be wearing this on a shirt very soon. It's our new merch. Get your Get On the Bases merch right now, and you can.
Open it up Muskego style.
Farmore. Yeah. Farmore.
Yeah, have you heard of Farmore?
I used to work there. I was employee of the month. I was employee of the
For
month.
those of you that I made bets with, I will be taking my money.
I got a watch. I have a watch. I'll bring that in the beginning of next season. I have a watch that says employee of the month. I was up for employee of the year.
All right. Hey, it's promo time. We're going to go into the promos.
Okay.
All right. We got a lot of stuff here, man. We got a lot of stuff. So,
we're on Twitter?
Let's start.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, you run it.
I take care of it.
Yeah. Obviously, really closely watched over as well. Let's see if this works. Come on.
You got a lot of work ahead of you.
Jeez, why? This was working earlier.
Are we on TikTok yet?
Sad. No, we're not on TikTok.
Okay, we're going to get on
because
TikTok.
We didn't do that.
We'll be on TikTok for season 10.
I don't know why.
TikTok
this
10.
never works.
That's what I'm going to call it. TikTok 10.
Let's try this.
TTT.
No, nothing is working. I worked enslaved on this thing. Let's see if this works. There. Whoa. Yeah, that's why it's taking a fart. There we go.
282 days.
That's right. 282 days to the next horror realm.
And I get a Phantomager.
And, yeah. And we have already posted, what is it, 10?
10.
10 panels out on YouTube, 2 of which you contributed.
I
Jesse.
did. The Thanksgiving and the one for the Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, and that Evil Dead 2, Jeff, just so you know, it's doing really well.
Yeah. People found me now.
Yeah, they're huge fans for the most part. And they just love working with Jeffy Jeff. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey, what's on the next Dead on Thursdays? Well, I'll tell you, nothing. We're on vacation.
Happy sorry. Oh, there you go.
That's an actual picture at our picnic that we had last year. So yeah, we're taking the summer off. We will be back come Labor Day, and Jeff might have another job that he has to work with as well, with a new show. That
Oh, that's right. Okay, so
He's giving me this blank look. I'm launching it right.
No,
toward
this
him.
is good. We're gonna have a new show. Can I say a little bit about it? Not really.
You can
I'm gonna say
very little because we still don't know what it
Okay,
all
so
is.
this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be me and Susie, who does what's the name of her show?
Now streaming.
She does this show called Now Streaming. You may
Which
have.
you were on.
I was on that, but I mean,
Yeah, you don't remember it.
right? But no, I do. It was High School USA, and I wore my Letterman's jacket.
Yeah.
86. Anyways, so back to the show. So we're gonna have this show, Susie and I, and it's gonna be called. I can't tell you what it's gonna be called because we don't know the title yet. But it's gonna have a lot of M's in it. And then the other thing is that there may be squirrel vision. There may be a lot of things.
Okay.
But the most fun thing is
Don't
that
overpromise. Don't overpromise.
I'm not going to overpromise, but I know that's going to happen. But here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Tim,
Here's the thing.
Susie and I are going to have so much fun on this. I don't even know
And I'm
how.
gonna be a baby.
I don't even know how Tim's going to handle all this. But it's coming up after Labor Day.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
And it's every week, right?
That's plan A.
Hell yeah.
plan
Bring it
A.
on. And there's going to be drinking.
And we want to also remind people to check out our friends at
Yes.
Dark Side
Yes.
Collectibles. Check him out on the website. We're throwing it into the chat room.
His name is Tim Godek.
Yeah, Tim's a strong name. A strong name.
It is.
People like the name Tim because many Tims are among the most awesome people that you'll ever meet.
Like Tiny Tim.
Why would you do that? Hey, Jeff, look at the screen. That's your name.
Hey,
So
okay.
you can tell people what your name
Jeff
is.
Miller. You know,
Yeah, because people forgot from.
but where's the?
you say it in a half
Where's
second.
my email?
Your email? Do you know your email?
It's jeff@otherworldlyculture.com.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Oh,
are we starting?
oh, you missed it.
Oh, I believe it was up there. Anyways, all right.
I don't know why I didn't put it up there.
So Tim.
Hold on, let me get this ready. Okay.
So
I'm
here's
just ready for when you're going to spoil
here's
this.
the thing, people. There is no way I can possibly spoil this movie.
Oh my God.
There is no way.
Why? Okay.
There's no way.
Let's see how this goes.
So this movie is called Malignant. All right, Malignant. It's a 2021 horror movie that's rated R. It's 1 hour and 51 minutes long. Okay, now that you know the movie, let's
now
get down
that you
to it.
read IMDb.
Hey, there's people that can't read, so that's not very nice, Tim. So this movie,
Called it mildly.
there's. So if you're thinking horror, think splatter horror, think slasher horror, think serial killer, think body horror, think psychological horror when you're thinking about this movie. And again, I didn't spoil anything. The main character, Madison, is paralyzed by shocking visions.
You're reading the
of-
types of genres out to people. It's really,
the main
it's
character.
the worst review ever. Oh
Wow.
my God. Okay, yeah,
So-
keep crapping on
So,
the show.
so no, listen. So I just want to give you a little background. So Madison, the main character, is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. I watched this movie. I did. And this movie,
I'm questioning it. But
I know I did.
okay.
This movie, the main character, Madison Mitchell, is played by Annabelle Wallace. Sydney Lake plays Maddie Hassan. No, the other way around. Maddie Hassan
Yes.
plays Sydney Lake.
Good job, Jeff.
But here's the thing. So this woman, this is the way this movie starts.
It starts at the beginning.
It does, but it tries to do what Predator 2 did. It tries to jump in the middle of the bowl of soup. It tries to do this, but it realizes that it can't do that, and it wades around the outside. Then the movie begins. So they jump in, but then the movie begins, and it has a very Total Recall type feel to it. It does it not. The scene where
It doesn't, yeah.
where Arnold Schwarzenegger is in that chair, and all hell is breaking loose. It has a very Total Recall feel for that one scene. But what happens, and you can give your little looks.
I'm giving
You
him.
can do whatever you want. But it starts out, it grabs you right away, and then it releases you, and then it grabs you again. And as you're going through this movie, it's very scary. This movie is one of the more scary movies that I've watched that Tim has put out there for me. It's right up there with The Conjuring. It's right up there with The Collector. This right now is one of the top 3 scary movies that Tim has given me. This movie was hard for me to watch. I had a hard time watching this movie. It's a good thing that I had Tango, my dog.
Yeah, faithful Tango was
I had
there to
Tango
protect Jeff.
But what happens?
Protect Jeff at all costs. We can't lose Jeff.
So this Madison Mitchell, she's having these like visions. She moves back into her house, and like all the visions are there. I mean, everything is happening. Like the bad stuff is happening to her in the house, and the whole time I'm thinking, why go live in that house? Why she boards up the windows and everything. I'm like, you're locking yourself in there with the bad stuff. I'm like, why would you do that? So I'm thinking, why wouldn't you just go to a hotel or a motel or just get out of town? But she continues to stay there. But then as you find out why this character, why this entity, this thing. Yeah, look at this. How can that's awful, Tim. Tim, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I had to go to my special happy place after this was done.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, my little Into the Blue situation. But look at these scenes. I mean, it was a very, very scary movie for me to watch.
Let's get the sharp object out of your hands.
but when it comes down to it, it was put together well as far as a first, second, third act. It's all put together well. I don't
recognize the director?
I did. Can I look at the name because I know who it is? I don't, but I do. Director. Yeah, we talked about this. James Wan, but I don't remember what he did.
Well, he made Aquaman.
Well, that was a good movie.
He made Aquaman. He also made The Conjuring.
Yes,
1, 2.
that was it.
Yeah.
That's why you get some of the feel of The Conjuring in this.
I think he's done a bunch of the Insidious. I don't think he's done all of them, but I know he did the first.
So these movies, if I look at these movies when Tim gives them to me, and if it's James Wan, I'm going to veto them.
You veto so much stuff. I have never said, no matter how bad North Dallas 40 is and some of that stuff, I just sit there and
because you're not going to be able not to be able to sleep.
But then,
Tim,
okay, let me tell you about this one. So Jeff, for the length of this show, has said, I will not take, under any circumstances, I am not going to watch The Human Centipede. Somebody, what did they do? Dare you into it?
They dared me to do it.
And of course he went and he watched it. I said, Jeff, I wasn't going to give you that movie.
I was also drinking. So that was part of it. But
yeah, that probably enhanced the.
But here's the thing about
the
the Centipede. I don't want to get too far away from this Malignant.
Yeah.
But the Centipede, if I start thinking about it enough, I will puke. Because let's not do
so that
gross.
in Tim's studio.
But anyways, all right. So Malignant. Let's just shake this. Let's just shake this down. Let's just shake this down so it gets done.
Yes,
because I don't want to spoil it. Because I'm going to prove to you people I can tell a movie and not spoil it.
Go ahead.
It's worth watching. If you're into this sort of stuff, it's worth watching. If you're like me, a casual horror movie type person, you're not going to want to watch this. But Malignant, was there a Malignant 2?
No. In fact, this movie is very polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I hated it. But I loved it. I hated it, but I loved it. Because I see what you're getting. See, what I can do, folks, is I can compartmentalize what Tim did. Tim gave me a movie that's a good horror movie, but I may not have liked it. So now I got to split the cost on this ranking of this grade of this, and I'm going to have to give it a.
Oh, we're scored?
Yeah.
We haven't Pauly Short it yet.
Let's Pauly Short.
Okay. Because I think you're going to be shocked what I was able to do.
You're going to have to go at least 4 or 5 because I don't recognize anybody in this movie.
Watch this. Come on.
I'm watching.
There it is.
In 1?
Yes. That's the woman cop.
Yeah.
Nicole Brianna White.
Yep.
She was in the movie Encino Man.
Wow. You know what, Tim? I don't think you've done that before. I don't think you've done one.
I think that's a great way to end the Pauly Shore connection.
And then we go
we'll move
DVP.
on to something else.
DVP.
You think DVP?
I think it'll be fun. Anyways, so that's that. I'm gonna give my score on this.
Okay, what's your score?
If you're a person that digs this kind of horror, you're gonna love this. If you're a person like me, you're not gonna love this. It's only fair that I give it a. I should be fair. I would say I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5.
All right.
I mean, I believe that's a fair score.
For you, it is. Yeah. You couldn't sleep. That's the joy that I get out of it.
But here's the thing of it. But if you're a person that likes this kind of stuff, you're gonna love this movie because this movie keeps you on the edge of your seat to the very whether your eyes are open or shut. Okay. They're on the edge of your seat.
I'm gonna tell you something.
There's a great twist to it. Great twist.
This movie is very much in the exploitation side of horror movies.
What does that mean?
It has a big concept. It's salacious in the details of the storytelling, which I also don't want to spoil it. But really, it's kind of a trashy movie when you think about it. It's not a high concept or anything.
No,
it's very.
It's like Collector. It's like what the but Tim.
But it's entertaining.
But the story that I didn't see it coming. I didn't see how the stew was made. I didn't figure it out.
I will tell you, any of our normal horror movie fans will figure this out relatively early.
Are you
because
serious?
it's very close to another horror film that's pretty famous, which I am also not going to mention because you figure it out immediately if I say what the name.
Will you tell me when we're done?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
But both my brother and I watched it together again here. He had never seen it before. He had figured it out about the same point I had figured it out when I watched it. Because of this other movie, you're like, oh, I bet it's this. But I think they do a nice job with it. I think it's got a lot of fun thrills and chills to it. And a lot of action. It's absolutely preposterous. I mean, it's just insano town. But that's what kind of makes it fun because it's so crazy. It just like, okay, yeah, that happens too. All right, let's go. You know?
It was
It's
just
good times.
It was just it was out of hand. But good job, Tim.
All right, well,
I spent two
like
nights sleeping because of this.
I like to bother you as much as possible.
So you got the top three in my book:
All
The
right.
Conjuring, Collector, and this.
Well, we'll see what we can do to you yet next season. All right. You know, I think
Trivia.
I got stuff in. No, I hit the button wrong. We are going to trivia. I was like, where did trivia go? It's right there on the thing. And what happens in trivia is we read out 3 statements. And our opponent is trivia about the movie. One of them is a big old stinking lie. And the other 2 are true. And we try to suss out who's right and who's wrong. So I think I should go first, Jeff.
You mean asking me the question, or I should ask you the first?
I'm going to ask you my question.
All right, hold on a second. I got to turn my head.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
You know how to turn your head. Okay.
Tim.
Here we go. I'm going to go with this. Let's go with this. Madison Annabelle Wallace was in a relationship with Chris Pine, actor Chris Pine,
Yeah.
who played Captain Kirk in the most recent Star Trek movies.
I know who he is. Thank you.
Okay. Malignant is the number 2 one. Malignant is another hit horror film by James Wan, making twice its budget, including the marketing. And number 3, as recent as 2022, James Wan has stated they are developing a series based on Dylan Dog, which is a movie you watched here on this program.
Yeah. All right. So wait, I forget. Am I supposed to figure out the false one or
The false one. Okay. Which one is not Trucy?
So
not
did she date Pine? Probably. Are they
Do
making?
you think she put out?
Okay, so Pine is going to be a yes. The next one is what was the second question again?
Getting a Woody. Malignant's another hit horror film by James Wan, making twice its budget, including the marketing.
Yeah, people are all probably mental about that, so they probably want to see that. And then the last one is he's got an idea for Dylan Dog to be a series coming up.
Yeah.
Could they make a whole TV show about that?
Remember, it was based on a comic book.
That's true. That part's true. You know what I'm going to say? Wait.
That's not part of the statement.
No. Can you go back to the one about the money again?
Malignant's another hit horror film by James Wan, making twice its budget, including marketing.
So the budget would have been like, let's just say it was like $2 million. So
No,
that
the
means,
budget was the movie theater at which you used to work.
yeah, brown tuxedos and all. Okay, so let's say the budget was $2 million. So it means it had to make 4. But it's saying merchandise. Who's buying merchandise like that?
Oh my
So
God. Jeff is on the merchandise.
I'm gonna say the false one is actually the second one about making double its thing. That's what I'm talking about, people. You talk things through and you get it.
So
you get it right. You talk it through and you get it.
The budget for this movie was $40 million. How much do you think it actually made?
Like 6.
34. That's horrible for a horror movie. Horror movies, first of all, they shouldn't have made it for $40 million. This should have been a $20 million movie. But most horror movies, this is just my thing, if it's well marketed, etc., they make $50 million. It's like all the time. That's why right now, Final Destination came out, Bloodlines, made $70 million in its opening weekend.
Oh my God.
That's insane. That's insane. That's usually the whole length of a. So I like this movie, but it does have a lot of detractors that just don't care for Malignant.
I crushed it with trivia this season.
You did.
So you ready?
right.
You ready to get another 0?
Sure. I'm ready to mess this up.
Put that 5 up there.
I'm trying to.
That's what she said. All right, here we go.
This is what I deal with, ladies and gentlemen.
Michael Jackson choreographed Rod Tidwell's post-concussion touchdown dance.
Okay.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s first job as an entertainer was in the closing ceremonies of the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles.
Which he stripped at.
And
He was a stripper.
and Renee
Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger earned
I'm not even looking at it.
Renee Zellweger earned her say card doing a beer commercial.
Well, that one maybe not. But I'm gonna say The Lie sounds like Michael Jackson. I just don't think Michael Jackson choreographed it.
You don't?
Nope.
Look like Michael Jackson moves.
No, did not.
In fact, Paula Abdul choreographed the touchdown. So you are correct, Tim.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Is this going to get you close to the score?
I don't know. We have to go to the scorecard scene, which is this one, I think. Let's see. Clean up that screen. Oh, I came in really close. I came in really close.
Look at this, people.
Look at that. Well,
Look at this.
You're supposed to wait for me to hit this, and then I hit this one, and then, what's the other one I hit? I hit this one.
Here it comes. It started over here.
There you go.
There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the
Taking it home. Taking it home.
But we have something special for you, Jeff. As you know, I was just in Branson, Missouri.
Stop it. Stop it with that.
Earlier today.
Stop it.
I went to a mine.
Stop it.
And I dug out some gold. And I put together on solid gold, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put it so you don't have to look at Jeff's face. Right there. This is the beautiful Dead on the Bases Season 9.
Yes.
Medal.
That's what I'm talking about.
Of honor. I don't know. The lighting is just, there we go. Season 9. And there's the little pumpkin ball.
Yes. Look at that.
Wear that.
Do you have to
I
put
want you to wear that to work.
This is awesome.
When,
this has got some weight to it, folks.
It's gold. That is Branson, Missouri gold.
I can't.
Oh my God. You have to take off it. He wasn't going to take that hat off, folks.
Hell no. I don't want to blind anybody. Here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go, people. That's what I'm talking about.
Woo!
When you're talking champions, you're talking Jeff Miller.
Congratulations. Let's see. I got to hit some buttons.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, folks.
So let's take a look at the stats, shall we?
Yeah. Let's take a look at those
stats. So the
total
scores over our entire seasons.
I don't know how to read this.
The horror movies have done better than the sports movies in the overall scores, but Jeff is cleaning my clock in trivia.
That's right.
If you look season by season,
it's a lot of numbers.
That's a lot of numbers. But you just need to see that Jeff has 710 total points.
Oh,
and I have 706.
Wow.
But if you look, a lot of those are the trivia. A lot of it is the trivia.
Okay, I see that.
And Jeff being stingy with us.
No, I'm fair.
There's that going on.
I'm fair.
We know he's cheating. And then I think you got one more. Is this it? Yeah, here's the averages of the scores.
It's pretty close.
Surprisingly. So yeah, and I have a whole lot of updating spreadsheets to do yet. But that's what we have. I think in season here, one of these I have
It shows
figured out
who won each one.
what
of them,
the
right?
high and the lows were, and Jeff is very good at giving low scores on some of my movies. He's got a wider range where mine are like between 5 and 10 for the most part. He's like 2 to 10.
Well, when the movie's awful, like Black Sheep, it gets a 2.
Okay, I watched The Bronze.
Yeah,
You're
you gave it a
welcome.
3. You gave it a 3.
I don't know why. I have a mental
I think you gave
condition.
it a 2, but I scored like an extra
I
point
got
somehow.
a mental condition that I gave it that. Anyway,
You were actually leading at that point of the season.
Yes, I was, Jeff. Wow, thank you for that. Anyway, hey, you know what they call that? They call that a season, baby. That is the end of season 9.
Yep.
And are we going to bring the show in on time-ish?
We're gonna be bringing this in on
Kinda.
time next year.
Ooh, do that again.
Oh,
Ooh,
we have a new sound effect,
Hold on.
folks.
Oh, that'll be for every time Jeff is swearing because he just cusses like a Susie. So that's what I hear anyway. I hear that Susie cusses like crazy. So
you'll have to
I
find-
personally, I never swear.
You'll find out on Mondays, in the fall.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
We
about.
should have a swear jar.
We could buy so many autographs with what would be in that swear jar.
I'm gonna be drinking out of this to start out the next season.
And what he doesn't know is I defecated in it last night. All right, everybody. Want to thank you. Are you sniffing it? You're sniffing the loving cup.
Just making sure.
You're not that sure. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for putting up with us all season long. It's time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank you all for watching. Remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube, and other fine places that you find podcasts. Next season, we're going to be moving from being primarily Twitch to primarily YouTube. We're kind of making a move that way. We still will show some stuff out on Twitch, but we're making a primary move to YouTube. So look forward to that. You'll still just go to otherworldlyculture.com. We're going to keep you up to date over the summer.
Email me.
Email Jeff. He loves those emails. Though, try to keep it to, 30 a day? Is that what you were
Something
talking
like
about? 30 a day. There's no need for these 50 and 60 emails a day.
And I will be bringing this to Horror Realm with me. So if you want pictures with me and the championship trophy, we'll have that set up for you.
Okay, yeah. Jeff will also autograph various body parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
At different price points.
Yep.
So remember, everybody, if it's sports, well, you call that's a home run. But if it's horror, run home! We're dead on the bases. We'll see you next time. Otherworldlyculture.com. I am the champion.com. Happy Memorial Day.com. I like it.
Yeah, this looks good, man. I got the.
Do you like the metal?
I do love the metal.
I
love
made
this.
that metal.
I know.
I made that. I forged that with my hands, just with grip.
Season 9. Yeah.
Don't get it wet. Okay.
That's what she said.
Jeez. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.